Hello, hello. Time has finally come to where I am going to break it all the way down for Miss Plez. Yes, I am. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm doing it right now. And what I decided to do, I decided to do something special for her. I am doing a before and after tarot reading. Okay? A before the crazy argument, avatar breakdown, and an after. So, and this is from Plez's point of view. All right, allegedly times 10. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so you guys are gonna have to bear with me because I have a disclaimer to put out there since Plez is the attorney, the official attorney. So let me go ahead and say allegedly as many times as I can. All right. Tarot spills the tea. Allegedly. This is a side-by-side dive of before and after, making the decision to join the All About the Tea public discussion panel. This is a brand new and very different way I've ever conducted a tarot reading video. Who deserves this honor, you may ask? It's none other than the alleged Plez, allegedly. Everything that pertains to the attorney is not to be used as facts. As it pertains to the guardian angels guiding the tarot, I only ask for the truth. Everything I will say, have said, currently speaking, is not claimed to be facts. I am only providing the exact accurate information Spirit provides as I ask for the clear reasons. Indigo Sage Tarot does not claim to have first-hand knowledge of this situation. Indigo Sage Tarot will ask Spirit for first-hand information. Indigo Sage has no idea how Plez truly felt before and after she joined the AATT public discussion panel. Indigo Sage will ask Spirit how Plez truly felt before and after she joined the All About the Tea public discussion panel. Indigo Sage will sage this out as alleged non-facts. This is a tarot, allegedly, as everything is alleged, reading. All right. Now that all of the legalities are out of the way, let me go ahead and sage this out freely. All right. I know my rights. I'm good. Okay. So let me officially introduce myself so that no one is held in suspense any longer. I am Indigo Sage, an awakened soul. I do have a spiritual website with many topics on there that'll keep you busy for a while. And that is at unapologeticallysage.com. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter under unapologeticallysage.com. Let's go ahead and sage this out right now. So let me make this very clear. First and foremost, this question is, and this is the first time I'm doing this. Now, the question is, what is the real reason Plez joined the All About the Tea public discussion panel? And I wanted to know how, what was the real reason and how she felt before breakdown, and then, like a compare and contrast kind of with how does she feel after about joining the All About the Tea public discussion panel. Like I used two different decks And I wanted to see if there were any similarities, if any of the same cards came out, or if it was completely different. And so we are going to dive into all of that and sage it out. That's what we're doing. Okay. So since this is like a double reading, I'm gonna kind of go faster and not give as many details as I normally do. But if you're a regular sagey, then you probably will be able to keep up. Because what I mean by not giving as many details, usually I break down the card itself, and you know, if I need to, I will. But I'm trying not to be long-winded, you guys. So, also I'll say I used two of my favorite decks, which, excuse me, allergies, which is the before deck and the after tarot deck. And they both mimic and are very similar to the original Rider-Waite. However, the images are completely different. So, for instance, what we're looking at and what we're going to start with, of course, is the before. So this is just my original question. How, well, not even just how, but like, what's the true feelings? And, how did she feel? What was her intentions? What's her true feelings with joining the All About the Tea public discussion panel? So the past is represented by a reversed Nine of Cups. Look at that man. Okay, now while y'all looking at that man, take in that image. Taking the imagery. Taking the imagery. All right. While you guys are doing that, take a quick little tiny second to look and direct your beautiful eyes to the bottom of the screen and look at what's in that red bar at the bottom. What it says is, this is for your entertainment purposes only, and every single word is alleged and not to be used as facts. Okay? Every single time you see that red bar at the bottom, please apply that sentence within. Now, this was in reverse, and what it means is your dream job has turned into a nightmare. Just symbolically, the Nine of Cups usually is like a man who it usually kind of tends to talk about ego, and there's a man sitting with his arms crossed on that little bench that you see, and there's 9 cups behind him lined up, and he is just happy, and he is like, these are my cups. And what? That's the original photo or imagery. However, I told you guys, I this is the before, which we're to think he had to fill his own cup. See, in the other one, the original, we assume that they're filled. Although I never did. I'm like, I don't, it depends on the reading, honey. I don't know if they filled or not. It depends on the surrounding cards, sweetie. Because people can act like they're filled and they're not. People fake and lie all the time. But anyway, we see here that he's filling his own cups. That's interesting. Okay, but it was in reverse, which means that whatever you put in, it's coming out. So that is in the past position. The past position is very important because it has influence on the present position. In the present position, it's upright 6 of Pentacles. Excuse me. Now this 6 of Pentacles, I'm gonna tell you straight up right away, it reminded me of the Avatar, aka Monica, aka cartoon character. The reason why is because I think I've done 3 readings on her, and at least two out of those 3, the 6 of Pentacles came up. On Monica, Avatar, cartoon character, whoever you want to call her, whatever, the boogeyman. Okay. So it was interesting that like, oh, it's coming up on Plez. All right. It didn't come up in anyone else's because I had already said I was gonna do the whole panel. So I guess they both are about their coins. But in the present position, 6 of coins in this situation says she's feeling as though this is a blessing, but unsure how to utilize the blessing. Recognizing an opportunity for a financial blessing, but she's unsure of how to ask for what she deserves. That's interesting. Because what that tells us is that she was never satisfied with them pennies that they were getting paid. Doesn't matter if she was getting paid more or less, because I've heard that she was getting paid the most out of all of them. If it's true, the amount that I heard and, measured against the amount she worked, it's pennies. And so it wasn't enough. Now, whether it's true or not, this is how she feels. These are the cards. Okay? So she was unsure of how to ask for what she felt like she deserved. And that was in the present, which means like she was okay with taking that position, but after they discussed the money, or either after she got the money, she was like, hold up. What is this? And she just didn't know how to bring it up and negotiate the money. Now, what we have to ask ourselves now, because here's the thing, being afraid or not knowing how to bring something up, it doesn't mean that like, oh, you fear that person. It could be a person battling with their ego. Maybe her ego told her, hey, that you already have a website. I mean, not a website, excuse me, a YouTube channel, and this will put you on the map. It'll put you on the map, because she had already mentioned that she had her YouTube channel like sitting dormant for like 2 years or something like that. So it could have been something, going back and forth like that, like, oh, it'll end up paying off. It'll be okay because, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna start this, it'll be able to, promote my YouTube, so it's okay that I get paid pennies. It could be that, or it could be she had a fear of Monica. All right, either one. Let's continue. Now we are at the best of the situation, and here's what how I get all excited when there's good cards and good positions. Well, here's the opposite of that, okay? Good cards, like in bad positions. The reason why this is bad, even though this is the best of what she saw, it was in reverse, okay? And in these positions, and a couple of them were like bamboozled. Because they saw themselves like in the upright, but they had no idea that the avatar put them in reverse. And that's even weird to me, but like, I want to knock on wood when I'm saying that, because I'm not trying to put anyone down. But it's weird to me for a person to not see what's going on all around you. But nevertheless, we will sage on. She thought of this card in the upright, which is you're onto something profitable. Okay? And I just explained all of that, with the previous card, the many different ways she probably thought it was profitable or would benefit her. It was in the reverse. In the reverse, the card in this position refers to situations where you could be cheated or lied to. And so, plain and simply, if she knew she could be cheated and lied to, this would not be in the best position. It was in the best position because she thought that she would gain profit. It would be profitable, beneficial in some way. This is the Nine of Coins, which is a beautiful card to have, okay? And it has the oh gosh, I cannot think of her right now. I want to say gosh, the Empress, I think. Either way, this image, this woman, she represents fertility, which, could be ideas and everything, feminine and fertility, and it doesn't mean necessarily pregnant with a baby, but ideas, So, like I said, this ties into what I just said, which is how she was thinking. The money, all right, so I'm getting paid pennies or whatever. However, um, you know, it'll benefit. She thought of different ways where it would benefit her. Put it like that. Let's continue. Now, here's something interesting that I just want to say real quick about the imagery. So in the last card, and I meant to talk about it and didn't, but like I'm trying to keep it pushing because I'm squeezing 2 readings into one. All right. Look at that. Eagle, the bird. I believe that's a messenger bird, and it was in the very last card as well. It's not in every single card, but it was in the last card, coming from the best. And it brought its ease over here into the worst card. Page of Swords. This card was reversed. She had a lot of reverses, okay? And I was actually shocked about her having a lot of reverses, because I'm thinking, if you had all of that anxiety or hesitation, why did you do it? I don't know. It's just weird to me. But anyway, what she saw as worst is represented by the reverse Page of Swords, which is saying you are a game player competing against others, feeling like you can't win. The outcome will leave you disappointed. So at some point, she felt like she was in competition with the others, and she felt like she couldn't win, and that's in the worst position. So a part of her hesitation going in and agreeing to be on the panel is whether or not there would be a competition atmosphere. And if it was going to be a competition atmosphere, she already felt like, you know what? Okay, Spirit is telling me something different. Like, it's not that she couldn't win, she's just not going to do that. Sometimes you feel like, so it wasn't that she felt like she couldn't win, it's just that she's not going to do that. Like, she wasn't willing to whatever. Okay, so how can I put this? If it was going to be a low down, dirty, drag out competition between all of them on the panel to win first spot or something like that, if she found herself in that type of position, that's the worst. And it wasn't that she felt like she couldn't win it, she just wasn't going to participate in that. Because she, like Candy sung, I fly above all the haters, I fly above, and it wasn't that she's calling them haters, it's just she fly above. But they did end up being haters, but, not all of them, but, some of them sometimes in some kind of way, they was haters. But it's just that, she just felt like she was just vibrating on a higher level than to be trying to do low down dirty stuff in competition for, I don't know, the highest spot, I don't know. But that was worse for her. Let me tell you guys something. Now, sometimes when I tell you guys that this card showed up in the reverse, sometimes, especially when it's pertinent, I will tell you what it means upright. This one, in this reading, in this position, it's dreary, upright or reverse, but it showed up in reverse. And this is in the what's to come. All right, this is before the crazy argument and everything. This card indicates trials and tribulations that you will face in the near future. Yeah, You might not have any direction, which leads to being uninspired or unmotivated. At this point of your life, you might not know what you really want to do. All right, that says a lot, and it sounds all true, allegedly. But you're gonna face trials and tribulations in the near future. Well, we already know this is, like I said before, the fallout with Monica. And you know what? I'm not even claiming to say that Monica means enough to her to even for her to even consider it a tribulation in her life. Okay, get into it. I've told people before when they try to make me upset and they continue and continue to like try to troll me. I've told people, look at here. I don't even care about you at all. So there's no way that you can bother me. So just use your energy and direct it towards something else or someone else. Okay? I've done that. And then I discovered that it just makes people even more upset when I say that. When I tell them that they don't, I don't even care enough about them for them to like ruffle my feathers. They just get more and more upset. But anyway, my point is that it sounds correct to me. But that's allegedly. But just a sprinkling a little something, something up right in this position in this reading, it still sounds dreary. I'm not laughing. My allergies is making me cough. It says there's a hole in your life that you're yearning to fill. And stop wallowing in self-pity and prepare yourself for a transformative experience by harnessing the powers of positive thinking and self-care. Now that's if it was upright. Goodness, a hole in your life, self-pity, what in the what? I don't know which one sounds worse or better. But at least with the worst, look at me trying to make excuses. At least with the worst, well, at least with the worst, it says that you're going to face trials and tribulations and, well, I don't know. Because the thing about it is, and then it says she's uninspired and unmotivated. Well, shit, if you lacking coins, if you're not paid properly, then that will be unmotivation. Anyway, let's continue. Let's continue because we have a whole second read, all right? And getting into the nitty gritty and sage in it out. All right, here we are at the energy card. You guys always know that I will show you the energy because the energy card influences all the rest of the cards that we just talked about. And energy is very important. And a lot of times, when we see their energy, if something didn't make sense, then it makes sense. So this energy card, it made me feel bad because I was like, oh, she's so innocent. The energy card is the Lovers. Now, the Lovers again, because we saw the Lovers. We've seen these type of cards throughout the readings of the panelist and Monica. We've seen them all except for when I was reading on Wide-Eyed Wiley. He the only one that ain't had no good cards. Anyway, okay, so let me say this. This is a part of the Major Arcana. Don't confuse it with Two of Cups. It's easily confused with Two of Cups. This is not Two of Cups. This is the Lovers, which is a part of the Major Arcana. And look at the imagery as I'm speaking. Okay? Imagery is very important. But the Lovers in the Major Arcana simply means, like, the simplest way to put it is to make a hard decision. That's what it means in the simplest way. But what this is saying is her energy was she was trying to be happy and maintain balance with clarity while trying to sage out, a difficult decision. And I'm sure that decision was to stay or go. That was the energy. And Okay, so Spirit is telling me, Spirit is clarifying. She was trying to figure out if it was worth it. That's what that was. Okay, okay, that makes more sense. If it was worth it. Okay. Um, but everything I just said still applies. Excuse me. Happy people. She's trying to maintain happiness and balance and clarity. That still applies. And then the representing the hard decision to be made. The hard decision was her trying to see whether or not this was worth it. The time, the energy, the payment, the dedication. And I mean, and this is before the argument, you guys. This is her. The thing about this reading is that this ended up showing us a progression of how she was thinking. Okay? But all along, she was thinking about the benefits of it. Like, how is this going to benefit me? Point blank, period. Nothing wrong with that. And as we already know, she ended up feeling like it wasn't very beneficial. All right, let's continue. Okay. One more thing. You guys, well, regular sages, you already know how big I am on imagery and everything. I could not help but say this one more thing. Look at the imagery. There's a person who is laying on the ground. We don't know if they fell. We just see they're on the ground. The more feminine energy, divine feminine energy. The divine masculine energy is offering a hand up. Does it look like the feminine energy is accepting it or shunning it? Is the feminine energy saying, I don't need your help? Or is the feminine energy just suspect of the help? Now, I'm going to tell you guys two things because I want you guys to pay attention to imagery because it means everything. Going back to the past card, what the past card say? The past card said, your dream job has turned into a nightmare. That could be talking about the attorney's attorney job. Allegedly times 10. It could be talking about that job, which could be a reason why, maybe you want to make it big somewhere else. Because it says your dream job has turned into a nightmare. And this is the past. That was in the past. So now, look at back to the energy. So is Plez laying on the ground and wanting Monica to help her up? And is she skeptical of taking that help, trying to decide is that good help or bad help? What's going on? I don't know. Or get into this. You see that snake wrapped around that tree near the head of the divine feminine? And now take into consideration the way the divine feminine is looking. Is that Plez feeling like she can help Monica with the panel? Like, you know what I mean? Like, take it to the next level. You know what I'm saying? Elevate the panel. Is that Plez putting out the hand to help lift the panel up? And then that's Monica looking like, how dare you? I don't need your help. Me and this snake, we got it. Is that what's going on? Interesting imagery going on here. All right. Now, moving forward. Okay, you guys, I got to ask. I am going to ask you guys to click like and subscribe. And just in case some of you may not have known, I do offer personal tarot readings. All of that information can be found in the description box. Alrighty. So just go ahead and click like, click subscribe, and click that bell too. Ring my bell. Just so that you'll be notified. Notified. Oh my gosh! I was doing so good with my words. Just so that you'll be notified of any videos that I post. Alright, let's continue to sage this out. And we are entering the after. Alright. So let me make this very clear. With the after, it's the same question except for, with the exception of asking how does she feel about joining the panel. Her decision. How did Plez feel about her decision to join the All About the Tea public discussion panel after Monica's crazy breakdown? Mommy dearest type of breakdown. So, you already have in your mind how you feel about something. And then sometimes some shit happens. And then, you may just be like, oh, Lord, I regret I ever did this. So sometimes shit happens and you feel different. So I just wanted to know. The before and after. How does she feel before and after? So, we are in the after. And the past card says, a recent power trip. It busts out and I've been working on this for a minute and forgot that that's the first line out the gate. A recent power trip may have put you in your current state of affairs. You saw a way to achieve and subsequently pushed your way to the top. Okay? And I'd say she did. She came out on top because, like I always say, evil doesn't conquer good, period. Or as Nene says, you never can win when you play dirty. So, she, as I see it anyway, allegedly, she's the good person out of all of this. So, of course, she's going to reach the top out of all of this muck. Let's continue. In the present position, it's the Hanged Man. Oh, goodness. In this position, the Hanged Man says, conflict is coming. So it's wise to hold your tongue. Meeting the situation with aggression will only hurt you in the long run. If he represents someone else in this position, this card is a warning. What I want to say, the asterisk right there on hold your tongue, I just want to point out that Plez said she waited for 2 weeks for Monica to make the announcement that she wouldn't, that Plez wouldn't be returning to the show. And we all know the story, and I'm not going to go into it because, I have to keep saying allegedly every other word, and that's annoying. And you guys all know. So, the hold your tongue, we know where that came from. But it was also interesting that the other part applied as well, saying that someone in this position, it's a warning. This card is a warning about that person. That's how she feels afterwards. What I'm getting is that since that's in that present position as it relates to her decision to do it, she saw warning signs, red flags. That's what it's called, red flags. She saw red flags. But you know how some of us, we all do it. Sometimes we see red flags and we just push forward and ignore it and this, that, and the other, and we hold our tongue until we can't no more. So that's hindsight is 2020. That's what was going on. Let's continue. So in her hindsight, the best of her situation was Ace of Cups in reverse. Now, upright Ace of Cups is beautiful and lovely to be especially to be in the best position. It means loving thyself. The more you send love to yourself, the better your life will flow. That's upright. It is in the best position. However, It was reversed, which means your energy is being sucked out of you. What this is telling us right now, we all up in her business, because what this is telling us is that she expected to grow, like for this experience to help her grow, like with loving herself, appreciating herself, and grow in that way. That's what she expected. What she got instead was that her energy was sucked out of her. Like I said, hindsight is 2020. In the worst position is the Wheel of Fortune. And I just told you guys, I think, well, in whatever last reading I was giving, I was telling you guys how on this panel is like someone is always getting the Wheel of Fortune, whether it be upright, reversed, whatever. Worst, what she saw was the worst. She had a fear of unexpected interruptions, difficulties, or delays causing detrimental effects to her career. That's what she saw as the worst and what she felt as the worst. Like, WTF, what have I gotten myself into? And now it's affecting my real career. But this is the same career where it was like, she wasn't feeling it in the very beginning. However, that's nobody's, that's for her to sift out, figure out, and sage it out. You know what I'm saying? It's not up to anyone else to put her career in, danger, her real job that pays her for real. But anyway, that's the worst. Now, I am getting ready to just say this because this is how I feel. Okay? She's a real queen. Let me tell you why. Well, she's manifested out of all of this. What's to come? She's prepared to accept her losses with grace rather than dwell on lack of success. Victory often comes after defeat. However, it's how you learn from these failures that determines the result, and she knows that. We already know, we see that she's handling it with grace because, like, if she has come after the avatar, we don't know, and that's grace. Okay. And that's why I call her a queen. And just for her to know that victory comes after the feeling of defeat, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's cool. That's good. That's good. You know what I'm saying? Because it's. Let me tell you something. And I was just thinking about this earlier today. What a lot of people don't realize and what a lot of people do not understand, it is easy to react and cuss somebody out when you're upset for whatever reason. That's easy. It's challenging, it's hard, it's difficult sometimes when you are done wrong and then you just take the high road. That's hard sometimes. That's way more challenging and difficult than to go ahead and tongue lash somebody. Tongue lashing is easy. Taking the high road is what the real challenge is. She has seemed to have taken the high road. All right. So here is the energy snapshot afterward. And before I even read it, we know hindsight is what? 2020? Hindsight is 2020. King of Pentacles. Okay, get into it. Get all the way into this energy. Get all the way in it. It wasn't reverse. It was upright. King of Pentacles is her energy. Afterwards, everybody better recognize. Okay. It means good in business, patient, stable, secure, loyal, and a hard worker. She doesn't gamble or take silly risks. I bet not anymore. And that coincides with what we just saw as what's to come. You've got to learn from that. And this is something I always say, that you leave the experience and take the lesson. Okay? It's already trademarked on my website. Don't even try me, nobody. All right. But anyway, you leave the experience and you take the lesson. And that's exactly what she did. She's coming out shining, good in business, patient, stable, secure, loyal, and a hard worker. She doesn't gamble or take silly risks. That's her energy now afterwards. You better get into it. She is the king of pentacles, not playing. Focused and can't nobody get over her no more. Guarantee that. Let's continue. Guess what? I feel like this came too quick. We're at the end, and I do want to thank you for watching. And I am going to ask you again to click like and subscribe. All right? Have a wonderful rest of your week. And wash your hands. Bye-bye, you guys.